This is the most shocking final battle ever. All the Marvel superheroes you have seen have returned in this battle. When Captain America shouted that slogan, I think no one could remain calm. With Captain America's order, this unprecedented war officially kicked off. During the battle, Tony once again saw Spider-Man's 5 years of self-blame and guilt being released at this moment. Compared to Tony and Spider-Man, Star-Lord and Gamora were not very friendly. Star-Lord wanted to tell Gamora about his lovesickness but was. At this time, Thanos' men were chasing Hawkeye, who was holding the glove, and his goal was to send the gem back to the original time. But Thanos had destroyed the quantum shuttle before, but Ant-Man's Wuling Hongguang also had a small shuttle, so the Avengers passed the glove like a relay race. Black Panther, who received the glove, relied on the kinetic energy of the axe that was released and absorbed, and cut a bloody path. However, Ebony Maw, who had been paying attention to the glove for a long time, stopped it. At this time, Spider-Man arrived and took the glove. Then Spider-Man activated the one-hit kill magic of the battlesuit. On the other side, Scarlet Witch Wanda also found the witch who lost her lover, and burst out with unparalleled power. Without the gems, Thanos is no match for Witch at her peak. At the critical moment, Thanos directly ordered the warship to attack the ground. Wanda, who was disturbed, inevitably interrupted her output. Just as the Avengers were avoiding the attack, a golden light appeared from the atmosphere and directly penetrated the entire warship. The person who came was Captain Marvel. He took the glove from Spider-Man and then rushed to the van under the protection of the Avengers. When Thanos was about to succeed, he threw out his weapon to destroy the quantum shuttle, and Captain Marvel was blown away on the spot, and the dropped glove happened to fall in front of Thanos. Tony wanted to stop him but was knocked down by Thanos with a punch. Just as he picked up the glove, Captain Marvel rushed over and performed a combo. Thanos used the opponent's force to throw Captain Marvel out. At this point, Thanos put on the gloves again, but at the moment he snapped his fingers, Captain Marvel came again and held the gloves tightly. In a hurry, Thanos took the gem off the glove and used the power of the gem to punch Captain Marvel away. At this time, Doctor Strange, who was controlling the floods in the city, stretched out a finger to Tony, and Tony realized that he was the only chance. So he rushed forward to fight with Thanos to the death and snatch the glove. But unfortunately, Thanos easily knocked him to the ground. Then Thanos snapped his fingers, but nothing happened. It turned out that during the fight, Tony transferred the 6 Infinity Stones to his own hands, and then Tony snapped his fingers despite the huge backlash. Watching the surrounding army turn to ashes, Thanos could only sit there, waiting for the judgment of fate. Then, Thanos and his men turned into dust. The Avengers won this battle, but Iron Man, who was as strong as a god with a mortal body and a heart of steel, left us forever. The 10 years of Marvel began with Iron Man, and finally Iron Man and the Avengers held a grand funeral for Tony. After everything was settled, Thor handed the throne to the Valkyrie and joined the Guardians of the Galaxy. Captain America returned the gems to the original timeline through the quantum shuttle, but when Captain America came back, he was already gray-haired. It turned out that he listened to Tony's advice. But he and Carter spent a happy life. Later, Captain America handed the shield to Falcon. I thought these heroes would accompany us forever, but they will grow old just like us. Marvel has built the most grand and magnificent epic movie in history, and also let us have a beautiful and unparalleled dream. How many 11 years can there be in a life? In the most brilliant years, walk and have the company of these heroes and feel proud. Well, that's it for today, see you next time, bye. Tony secretly built a pair of infinite gloves, but when all the cosmic stones in it. Tony and Banner were almost scared to death. Although the Infinity Gauntlet was assembled, the only problem now was who would perform the fatal snap. You know, the last operator had already died under the axe. At this time, a fat man walked over with a heartless pace, but was stopped by Captain America. Because although Thor was the only god in the Avengers, his physical condition was not optimistic at the moment, and he had been paralyzed by alcohol for a long time. Tony was really afraid that after he snapped his fingers, every corner of the world would be filled with snow beer, but at this time Thor said, "What do you think is coasting for my things right now she is with?" Seeing that they were about to be in a stalemate, Banner stood up and said that he was the only Avenger with both strength and reason. Moreover, most of the energy backfired by the original stone was gamma rays, so he was definitely the best choice for this mission. After that, everyone immediately started a defensive posture, and Tony even asked Friday to close all the doors. After that, as Banner put on the Infinity Gauntlet, the gamma energy instantly spread throughout his body and continued to devour his arms. Fortunately, Banner finally survived with his strong will, then knelt on his knees and made that fatal snap with difficulty. After the job was done, Tony immediately cooled Banner down, and the defense gate of the base opened automatically. Looking at the lively scene outside the window, and with his wife calling him, it was obvious that they succeeded. However, before everyone could recover, Banner saw a huge battleship firing several missiles at them. Under this powerful firepower suppression, the Avengers' base was instantly reduced to ruins. It turned out to be Nebula who had been lurking in advance. He sent Thanos' army to the present through the quantum tunnel, and the Avengers were all trapped under the ruins. Seeing the critical situation, Ant-Man, who had shrunk, hurried to contact Banner's location, and Hawkeye found the Infinity Gauntlet by accident. In order to avoid pursuit, Hawkeye did everything he could, and finally fell on the deck exhausted. On the other side, Tony and Captain America finally met up with Thor. Looking at the calm Thanos in front of him, Thor immediately transformed into the king of electricity without saying a word. Then, a lightning bolt struck down Thor's hammer in his left hand and Stormbreaker in his right hand. Even a little 9-9 was tied up in his hair. Even though the three giants of Marvel were fully armed to face the gifted strongman, Thanos did not dare to act rashly. However, Thanos said that his biggest mistake was being too kind. This time, he wants to destroy all humans and then use the power of the glove to create a universe without resistance. After hearing this, Tony and his friends could no longer remain calm and launched a fierce attack on Thanos from all directions, and then even cooperated with a wave of super energy rains. However, Thanos was not a pushover. Seeing that the attack was useless, Thor wanted to use his hammer to hit a home run, but he picked up Tony and blocked the hammer. At this time, Captain America was also hit by Thanos and fell to the ground. During the fight, Thor was caught by Thanos and then pressed against the wall and hammered wildly. He wanted to recall Stormbreaker but was intercepted by Thanos halfway. Seeing that Thor was about to die, Thor's hammer moved. At this time, I just want to say that everyone should stand up. Some people seem to be submissive on the surface, but they have already practiced a set of hammer and shield combination skills behind the scenes. Captain America held the shield in his left hand and the hammer in his right hand to beat Thanos without any ability to fight back. Then he exchanged lightning to demonstrate what it means to be a mortal body on par with gods. But Captain America was not strong enough after all, and Thanos seized a gap and directly pushed him to the ground. Not only was his thigh stabbed, but even his indestructible vibranium shield was chopped into pieces by Thanos in a few strokes. At this time, Captain America was isolated and helpless. Even in the face of thousands of Thanos' troops, he still stood up resolutely and blocked the front line of the battlefield. However, it was thought that this would be a crushing defeat, but at this moment, the captain heard the voices of other Avengers, including Black Panther, Sam, Doctor Strange, Star-Lord, and Peter Parker. Countless Avengers troops arrived at the battlefield one after another, and the most intense war of the century in prehistoric times began.